Hi everyone and welcome to today's lesson, and we will be looking at subitizing. Before we get started, I just wanted to go over our weekly structure, and what you need to do is work your way through the slides for each day. You can press present, which is located on the top right hand corner. Stop working once you have reached the slide which has the following day. For example, if it is Monday, you will work through lesson 1 until you reach the slide that says Tuesday, lesson 2. When you reach a video, you can stop it at any time to work out your problems. You can then continue the video to check your answers or if you need support. Okay, before we get started, boys and girls, we're going to do our maths warm-up questions. So you can use a whiteboard and a marker or a piece of paper and a pencil. Let's get started. Okay, so what we're looking at here today is how many. So what I want you to do is count up all of our dinosaurs, and then you need to choose how many there are. And the numbers that you can choose from are here on the left-hand corner, which is 9, 5, and 7. So I'm going to give you some time now to work out how many there are, and then we will count them all together. Okay, boys and girls, let's count them all together, and I'm just going to cross them out as I do because that helps me keep track of which ones I have counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't forget the little baby dinosaurs. So right here, I'm going to circle 7. Let's take a look at another one. How many? So pause the video and then you can count how many and then come back and we will do it together. And you might use different strategies to count. You might not just count by ones, you could count by twos and go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we can always use different strategies. It's whatever works best for you. Okay, so we're choosing from 4, 6, and 8. Okay, let's count them all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I was just looking at that, I could see here I have a group of 3 and then I have another group of 3, and we know that 3 plus 3 is 6. So our answer here is 6. Okay, let's look at another one. How many? So we've got 15, 8, and 12 to choose from. So pause the video and give yourself a chance to count how many dinosaurs there are, and then you can press play and we can count them together. Okay, let's have a look. And now remember, my strategy for counting is I like to cross them off as I go so that I can keep track. So you can do that with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So there are 12 dinosaurs. Okay, well done, boys and girls. Let's look at one more. Now there are a lot here, and we've got 22, 19, and 25 to choose from. So again, pause the video, give yourself some time to count them all up, and then press play and we can count them together. Okay, let's have a look at how many there are. I might use green to cross them out. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And do you know what? I almost missed these two baby ones as well. 21 and 22. So I hope you got 22 as well, because that's how many dinosaurs there are. Okay, boys and girls, we're now going to get started with our lesson, and our learning intention today is we are learning to subitize. And our success criteria is I can explain what subitizing is, and I can subitize a small collection of objects. So let's find out what subitizing is, because you may never have heard of it before. Okay, subitizing is when we instantly identify how many objects are in a small collection without having to count each object. So look at my examples below, and instantly we can see how many there are in each collection. So here I can see that there are 2 starfish. Now I didn't have to count them. I didn't go 1, 2. I just was able to instantly identify how many there are. Here we have 4 ladybugs, and we can see that this kind of looks like a dice where there are 4 dots. And we also know that 2 and 2 is 4. So it's also the way that the objects are arranged. And here we have 6 aliens, and we have 3 up the top and 3 down the bottom. So if you were able to instantly identify the 3 at the top, and you know that 3 and 3 is 6, that could also have helped you to understand that it was altogether 6 aliens. Okay, let's keep going. Look at the small collections below. Can you instantly identify how many objects are in each collection? So I'm going to give you some time now. You can pause the video and then press play again. And I want you to have a go at instantly identifying our objects in each box. And then we're going to check the answers to see if you were correct. So try your best not to count them one by one, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, so here are my answers. Did you subitize these small collections correctly? So in our first box, we had 3 fish, and then we had 4 aliens, and again, that is arranged to have 2 up the top and 2 down the bottom, and we know that 2 and 2 is 4. And then we have 6 pencils, and we've got them 3 down here and 3 over here, and you may have thought 3 and 3 is 6, or you could have thought 2 plus 2 plus another 2 is 6. And then our last one is 8 whales. And I like how this one is arranged to have 4 up the top and then 4 down the bottom, because we know that 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, let's have a look. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find everything that is 1. We're going to find the number 1. We could have 1 object, 1 dice, 1 teddy bear, 1 in a tens frame. So I want you to pause this video, and we're going to find all of the representations of the number 1. And then come back and we'll look at them together. Okay, so let's have a look. I've got 1 on a dice. I have the tally mark 1, 1 on a domino, 1 on a 10 frame, 1 block, and 1 on a finger. Let's look at another one. Let's find the number 2. We're looking for all of the collections of 2. Okay, so let's have a look. We have 2 teddy bears, we have 2 on a domino, we have 2 in a tens frame, we have 2 tally marks, we have 2 on a dice, we have 2 fingers, and that's it for 2. Let's look at 3 now. So pause the video, give yourself some time to find all of the collections of 3 and try your best not to count them, to instantly identify all of the collections of 3. Okay, so let's have a look together now. I've got 3 tally marks, 3 on a dice, 3 blocks, 3 in a tens frame, 3 teddy bears, and then 3 fingers. So you can show me 3 fingers. Let's look at 4. So you're going to find all of the collections of 4. What does 4 look like? How do we know that it's 4? So pause the video, give yourself some time, and then come back and we will find them together. Okay, so let's have a look. I've got 4 on a dice. I have 4 on a domino, and that looks like 2 and 2. I have 4 dancing fingers. I have 4 tally marks. I have 4 blocks. And I think, oh, there's one more. We have 4 on a tens frame. Okay, fantastic. So we've just got one more to look at, and that is 5. We are finding 5. Pause the video, find all of the collections that represent 5. Okay, so let's have a look. We have 5 dancing fingers. We have 5 teddy bears. We have 5 on a 10 frame. And I like the tens frame one because we know that we have 5 up the top and 5 down the bottom. And the ones up the top are all covered. Let's pretend they've got counters in them. So we've got 5 up the top and 5 down the bottom. So that one could have been an easier one to recognize. We've got 5 dice. We have 5 on a domino. We've got 4 and 1. And then we have 5 tally marks. Okay, well done, everyone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a Subitizing See and Say. Because for us to subitize, we need lots and lots and lots of practice. So what's going to happen is I want you to look at the 10 frame and say how many dots you can see. You don't need to write it down. I just want you to call it out, just like we would do in class if I was showing you something. You can just call it out. Okay, so how many dots are there? Try your best not to count them, but just to instantly identify. There are 5. 1, 3, 8. So here we have a tens frame and there are 2 boxes which are missing. So in our heads, if we have 10 and we take away 2, 1, 2, we're left with 8. How many's here? 4 and 2 is 6. 9. So we started with 10 and then there was 1 missing. So then we have 9 left. Okay, well done with that, boys and girls. What we're going to do now is we are going to subitize numbers to 10. Now what you can do is you can write your answers on a piece of paper and then come back to the video and we will check them together. So pause it now, give yourself lots of time to write down your answers and then come back and we can look at it together. Okay, so let's have a look at your answers. Now the first one we're going to look at is here, which is A. And on this dice we had 1. And on B we had 4. On C we had 3. On D, we had 6, and that's represented by 3 and 3. And we know that that is 6. For E, there was 4 because we had 2 dice here, and both of them had 2 on it. 2 and 2 is 4. For F, we have 6, 5 and 1. For G, we had 9. Now this one had 6 on one dice and then 3 on the next. And then for H, we had 10. And we know that 5 and 5 is 10. They are friends of 10. Okay, well done, boys and girls. That concludes our lesson. But before we go, we are just going to reflect on our learning. Now, our learning intention for the lesson was we are learning to subitize. And our success criteria was I can explain what subitizing is. So remember, subitizing is when you instantly, so straight away, are able to identify a small collection of objects. And then our next success criteria is I can subitize a small collection of objects. And we did that in our lesson today when we were looking at dice patterns and we were subitizing the counters on the 10 frame. And we were also subitizing when we were playing our game where we were finding different numbers. We found 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, well done, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and I will see you next time. Bye.